How Habits Can Help or Harm Your Well-Being by Professor Nigel MacLennan. We all have habits, many of which are so ingrained that we have lost awareness of their existence. Some habits help our well-being and others are silently harmful. Which are the good and which are the bad habits? What is their impact on our well-being? What are the most helpful habits to build? Almost any behaviour repeated enough times becomes a habit. That is as true for externally visible behaviours as it is for thoughts and emotions. Over time, our ingrained habits become invisible to us. We lose awareness that once, in the distant past, that the habitual behaviour started with a choice, a decision which has since become so often repeated that it is now part of who we are. Doing a little exercise every day is a habit that enhances well-being and longevity. It adds to quality and quantity of life. Spending long hours immobile while watching TV and eating a sugar-filled dessert with every lunch and dinner has the opposite effect. Here is one of the most well-being enhancing habits that you can adopt: intermittent fasting. In areas of the world where intermittent fasting is not used, the incidence of cancer is 300% higher. Yes, 300%. There are many reasons that the habit of intermittent fasting is so good for health, not least of which is the development of the practice of self-control when it comes to eating and drinking. When someone has developed the habit of skipping a meal or not eating for a full day, those are just two types of intermittent fasting, they know that they have developed the habit to the point where they can control what they eat, how much they eat, and when they eat. That is a powerful habit. It is powerful and effective self-control. What are the most common bad habits, those that wither well-being? Alcohol consumption. We now know there is no safe amount of alcohol consumption. Any and all alcohol causes damage and increases the risks of a vast range of diseases. Studies have shown that cancers can be caused by alcohol consumption. The stronger the habit of alcohol consumption, the greater the risk of disease. Unhealthy diet. Eating too much and eating harmful foods destroys health. Nearly all cases of type 2 diabetes have an unhealthy diet as the main cause. An unhealthy diet is the main factor in a huge list of fatal and chronic diseases. Smoking and vaping. Almost everyone knows that smoking kills. Many people are still unaware of the damage that vaping does. Why? The evidence is still mounting and has not yet reached the tipping point where governments take action. Whether it is smoking or vaping, the habit harms well-being. Lack of exercise. Immobility causes morbidity is a phrase many healthcare professionals use to remind clients of the risks of immobility. When people develop the habit of sitting all day and not taking regular exercise, they massively increase their risk of health deterioration. Being overweight. Every extra pound, approximately 0.5 kilograms, that we carry puts extra strain on our hearts. When people are habitually overweight or obese, gaining fat-based weight, the risk of a vast number of fatal and chronic diseases increases. For instance, stroke, heart failure, cancer, diabetes, and many more. Overworking. Too much work can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, overwhelm, burnout, and even suicide. Karoshi is a Japanese word for death by overworking. As with most health-damaging habits, the consequences build up and compound over time until there is a moment when the full scale of harm is apparent. Too much screen time. Spending too much time in front of our screens, computers, televisions and smartphones, etc., increases immobility and can lead to problems such as obesity, sleep disturbance and social isolation, all of which are hugely harmful to our well-being. Skimping on sleep. Sleep is hugely important to our health. People who are in the habit of skimping on sleep have worse mental health and physical health than their sleep-friendly peers. Sleep deprivation is strongly linked to depression, anxiety, and suicide. Procrastination. Putting off tasks can be wise to manage workload when under pressure. However, when putting off tasks becomes the default setting, when it becomes a habit, it can cause increased levels of stress and anxiety. Procrastination as a habit in one context can spread to being the norm in all other contexts. You may have heard this phrase or its many variants. I'll lose weight or stop drinking or quit smoking after the holiday, after the kids have gone back to school, after I get a new job. All epitomize procrastination. Negative self-talk. When people view their world through a negative lens on a habitual basis, they are more likely to be anxious, depressed, stressed, pessimistic, and have worse physical health than their more positive self-talking peers. In extremis, negative self-talk is strongly involved in many suicides. Social isolation. Many people feel the need to withdraw from social contact from time to time, to recharge. But when a person makes social isolation a habit, it can lead to loneliness and have a strong negative impact on mental and physical health. Hopefully, you engage in the opposite of the problem habits presented above in order to protect and enhance your well-being. If so, what additional habits could you form that are known to enhance your well-being even more? Here are some. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of appreciating the good things in our lives. Adopting a habitual attitude of gratitude has many benefits for our mental and physical health. It makes us feel better about life and boosts our immune system, to mention just a few of the evidence-backed benefits. Learning, skill and knowledge. People who are engaged in the habit of learning are much less likely to develop any form of dementia and are mentally and physically healthier than those who do not have learning habits. Altruism, giving back to others. Helping others can make us feel good about ourselves and better connects us to our community. It can also reduce stress and improve our mood. People who are most in the habit of helping others are generally healthier and happier. It seems that the main beneficiary of helping others is ourselves. Having goals or purpose. The habit of setting goals or having an ongoing purpose is massively associated with improved well-being. The ancient wisdom, without purpose people perish, seems to be true. If we set ourselves goals, it gives us a focus and a vehicle to develop all sorts of other skills, including persistence and self-responsibility. Me time. When we are in good shape, mentally and physically, we are in the best place to help those we love. Forming the habit of taking me time might involve meditating, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in one or more hobbies. People who form the habit of looking after their health are, unsurprisingly, mentally and physically healthier for longer. Which leads to the last key point. Establish routines. People who follow routines, who make their health routines a habit, an overarching habit, are more likely to be healthy. The routine might be, for example, doing some exercise first thing in the morning, every morning, or every evening, or making sure that you have a healthy diet most of the time, not just a fad. Forming the habit of a healthy routine, a consistent daily schedule of healthy behaviours, can only lead to improved well-being. What well-being enhancement habits will you start forming today?